A lot of people moving to Fairfield, Connecticut assume one thing right away, that if you want a real family home here, you probably need to spend $2 million or more. Honestly, if you scroll through Zillow for a few minutes, it can definitely feel that way. But here's the interesting part. There are still homes selling in Fairfield for under $1.5 million that families are genuinely excited to buy. Not tiny houses, not major fixer-uppers. Real homes that people are moving their families into. So in this video, I pulled the most recent 2026 sales and we're going to look at what buyers actually bought in Fairfield for under $1.5 million. Because depending on the house and the neighborhood, the difference between a smart purchase and a bad one in this price range can be huge. Some homes feel like incredible value, while others make you wonder why someone paid that much at all. The real question is, what does $1.5 million actually buy you in Fairfield today? Before we get too far into this, if you're new to this channel, my name is Chris Giolito. I'm a real estate agent here in Fairfield County, and on this channel I break down what it's really like to live in towns like Fairfield, Westport, and Norwalk so buyers can make smart decisions before they move. If you're thinking about relocating to Fairfield County or buying a home somewhere along the Connecticut shoreline, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description below. All right, we're going to jump right in here to actually 11 results that have closed here in Fairfield in the last 90 days for under $1.5 million. Now, I want to show you the criteria that we use to find these homes here. So we wanted to... I wanted to show you the size that you could get, right? So we're doing a minimum of 2,750 square feet. Now that's above grade. Homes that have closed, single family sales between December 12th and March 12th. And the price down here at a max of $1.5 million. Now you see there are 11 results here. Now you can see the map. This is Fairfield here. I'll zoom out just a bit. So Fairfield kind of runs down this way across and then just back up here, right? So we're really talking about central Fairfield for these homes that have closed in the $1.5 million range. You have a couple up in Greenfield Hill, which is a wonderful neighborhood here. A lot of really great properties tend to have more acreage. You have the university area, which is a very popular area right now. Stratfield, Lake Mohegan area. Again, other great areas within town. Now, what you don't see is homes in the beach area. These typically are $2 million and over, unless they are knockdown houses or much smaller homes. So let's dive in. I know you want to look at some houses. The first here is 774 Fairfield Woods Road. Knowing where this home is, the curb appeal here is beautiful, and you can kind of see it, and we'll go through the pictures in a bit. 4-bed, 3.5 bath, over 3,000 square feet on a half an acre lot. And there's something about this house, though, that does make it a bit undesirable, which I will get into. You can see that it was listed at $1.379 million, and that's what it closed at $436 a square foot. It's an antique style house built in 1889, and this is kind of where it gets a little funky. So we're going to zoom into where this house is. Fairfield Woods Road is a pretty busy road here. The library is back here. There's Jennings School here. So this is a pass-through road for sure. There's a stop sign here. This is a pretty busy intersection with Morehouse Road here. So this sits on a corner lot, which can be a little bit undesirable. We're going to scroll down and look at some more details here before we get into what this house looked like. Again, built in 1889. It does have a gas range, which is really, really nice. Let's go scroll down here and find the heat. We have taxes at just over $16,000. These are going to change in Fairfield very soon as everything went up a little bit, as all the properties were reappraised in town. There is gas in the street, which is interesting because I'm wondering if it's baseboard. Normally when it says gas in the street, it means that it's not hooked up to the house at the moment. I can't tell you for sure though. Let's take a look at the pictures here. You're going to see this is a beautiful house. So again, for $1.5 million in Fairfield, you can get a fully done move-in to home with space. We scroll through. I mean, it's set up beautifully. There's character. Again, 1889, you expect that. Moldings here. It's a beautiful home. Painted well, looks updated, looks clean. I see enough of these houses in person now that as I scroll through, I can pick out issues by just looking at pictures. I don't see any. I wasn't able to tour this home when it was on, so I can't tell you for certain actually being in it. There are houses that we are going to go through here that I have gone through, and I can give you a bit more insight. But you can see this is a beautiful home. I think most people would think this is a beautiful home and be ready to move right in. So a great option here. Again, the only real downfall of this home is where it's located, but you see the beautiful back patio, a nice big yard here. It's a really great house. Let's move on. 2107 North Benson Road. Again, another very busy road, even more of a busy road than Fairfield Woods Road. Split level house and built in 1954. This is an interesting home. I did tour this house, so 4-bed, 4-bath, just under 4,000 square feet. There is a separate in-law apartment that is attached to the house, which was very attractive to some people. Multi-generational living here is getting to be pretty popular as prices have gone up. So let's scroll down a bit. Let's get you down here. Natural gas, again, which is great. Central air, public water. Taxes are just over $15,000. There is a pool, which is great. A 2-car garage. And we will scroll back up because I know you really just want to look at the house. That's the fun kind of details here. Again, this is in the University neighborhood, which is very popular. We'll scroll into the map real quick and just see. Let me put on the satellite here. This is a very busy road. You can kind of see the pool in the backyard here. Big yard, though. So let's go up to the pictures. I toured this house vacant. It needed a lot of love inside. It was pretty beat up. I believe there were renters here living in the home when it went up for sale, but you get an idea here of what the backyard looks like in the summertime with the pool, multiple patios. I will say the backyard seemed a little disjointed with the different types of patios that were there. It kind of seemed like they were added over time and not really thought through. But again, you're looking at space here. And so if space is what you needed, this was a great value for space. The pictures here, I'll be honest, the house looks much better with the furniture in it than it did when it did not. The kitchen was tired. The whole home needed to be painted. It needed to be cleaned. But again, really the sell here is the size that you get. We'll keep scrolling a bit through and I'll get back to what it was on for and what it sold for. Downstairs basement, they have gym set up. This is the other apartment that I was talking about, kind of the au pair suite or the in-law suite. This was actually nicer than the rest of the main house. This was the nicest part of the entire house. Had a view out to the pool, big open family room, had a nice bedroom and bathroom upstairs. As you see here, this was on for $1 million. It closed at $1,020,000. $257 a square foot. The next property, 605 Brooklawn Avenue. This is in a beautiful part of town, more historic homes as this shows you here. I mean, you take a look at this picture here and it's stunning. It was listed at $979. This went way over asking. 1.175 million, 6 beds, 3.5 bath, over 3,000 square feet on a half-acre lot. There is an HOA fee. It's annually. We'll scroll down to look at what that covered. We find it here. Homeowners Association includes grounds maintenance and trash pickup. The taxes here, $13,128. Again, all over Fairfield, those are going to go up. The whole town just got reappraised. We're expecting about a 20 to 25% raise in taxes, but we won't know for a couple more months. There is no pool here. It is in the Brooklawn neighborhood. You get a 2-car garage. Your utilities were oil heat, which is pretty popular in this part, or pretty prominent in this part of town. There is central air, public water, public sewer. A lot of Fairfield is on public water, public sewer, which is good. When you get into Greenfield Hill, that's more septic. Let's look through this house here. Again, I know that's what you truly want to look at. But there's going to be a lot of character in this home. It is a little dated. Look at that. It's just, what a beautiful house. So you'll see the kitchen here is a bit secluded, a little dated, but it's move-in ready for sure. You don't have to do anything to live here. You may want to make updates immediately, or you may want to make updates over time. Again, you're going to find character here. This is an older home, so think that it's not going to be open concept. You could turn it into open concept over time. Again, you could do anything in a home. It just takes money to do that. The windows do look older just by looking at them from the pictures here. I could be wrong, but they do look like single pane windows. It's too hard to tell from here, but seeing windows over and over again, you kind of can get a sense of which ones are single pane and which ones are double. And all that really refers to is how insulating they are. A single pane window does much less for insulation. So again, you're seeing character, a little office space, kind of side sunroom here. This is just such an adorable house. So if you're looking for character, if that's what you want, you do have those options here in Fairfield, especially in the Brooklawn neighborhood. There's a lot of these style of homes. We'll keep scrolling. Again, dated carpet, but fine. Everything's moving ready here. You don't need to do anything. I think that's the theme with this house. It does have some nice updates in the bathrooms, but the carpets are tired. It probably needs paint. Very cool old school style bathroom here, which is actually coming back into style. A little mudroom, which is always helpful, especially if you have kids, and a great backyard. This is a great private backyard. This is Brooklawn Golf Course here. This is a country club in town with a lot of history. You see the home right here. Again, this is a busy road, but you are kind of set off of it, and your driveway is from back here. So you do feel a bit more secluded, especially with the fence down here. Go to the next one, 947 Galloping Hill Road. This is, I believe, so this is up in Greenfield Hill. So Greenfield Hill is one of the premier neighborhoods in town. A lot of estate style properties up here. A lot of wealthy individuals live up here. Tends to be quieter and larger lots. So this was on for $1,299,999, sold just over asking at $1,305, $324 a square foot, 4-bed, 3.5 bath, over 4,000 square feet, and again, an acre. So you're getting more property up here. Now, I would imagine this is septic. Yes, so you do have septic up here. It's not a big issue if you have septic. You just need to keep on top of it. The more upkeep you do for your septic tank, the longer that it lasts. If you just need to replace the tank portion in septic, it's about $8,000 to $10,000 depending on where it's located. If you need to redo the entire septic system, it could be $50,000 to $60,000. So there is an expense, but if you maintain it well, they can last a very, very long time. Again, like I mentioned, most of the town is public water, which is great. You are on oil up here, and there is central air. Property taxes at $12,605 is actually very low for town. These will go up, as I keep saying. There is no pool. You have a 2-car garage. And with every home in Fairfield, you do get beach rights. There are 5 beaches in town here. Let's get into the pictures because we've kind of touched on all the main points here. So you have more of a ranch style home, 1 level living. A great big backyard. Again, property is what you're going to get here. This is like a modern ranch, contemporary ranch. There will be living space downstairs, but this is going to be a little bit of a funky house. You see the design on the walls, the circle or half circle wall here. Very nice updated kitchen. A little eat-in nook here. Side kind of sunroom. The house is dated, and that's why it sold at the price that it did in Greenfield Hill. You'll see a lot of Greenfield Hill homes go for $2 million, $2.5 million, $3 million, up to $5 or $6 million, depending on how large they are. Again, it's a dated home. It's a funky home. You've got to be interested in this style, a little quirky, not traditional. So we'll keep scrolling through here. Great, cool sunroom. This is downstairs, huge actually. 2-car garage, and again, you get a lot of space in the backyard here. So if funky is something that you're looking for, it is possible here in Fairfield, and you can maybe get a better price on it. You don't see a whole lot of floor plans that have a circled room in there. We will stay in Greenfield Hill and go to 219 Sturges Highway. So this is a raised ranch. This is going to be a little bit more modern, 3-bed, 3-bath, 3,670 square feet on 2 acres. Now this was on for 1-1. So this sat for a bit because it closed for 1,031,071. 280 you are septic, private water system, which normally means well, oil, central air. So this is one of the few homes in town that is on well. Again, taxes are pretty low at $13,307. You do have beach rights, 2 acres. There is a swimming pool, 2-car garage, a security system, and built in 1978. So it'll be a little bit more modern than the last home. Let's get into the pictures here. Sort of a grand entrance here where you can go up or down. That's typically what happens in a raised ranch. You walk into the home, you can either go up to the living space or down to a lower living level. You don't normally see them with more ornate
cases here. It's kind of a cool look when you walk in. Grand ceilings when you walk in, beautiful hardwood floors, fireplace, big windows. It's somewhat of an open concept into the dining room. You can see into the kitchen. Again, these big windows look out over your 2 acres, which is pretty cool. Double-sided fireplace. Kitchen is to someone's taste. I would say this is dated. Some people like this style. There's no right or wrong. It is larger. It is somewhat open. It is nice to have those bar seats there. There's another living space back behind here. We'll keep trying to go through these pretty quickly. Updated bathroom. Another updated bathroom. You get the first floor plan here. So again, it tries to be open with 2 bedrooms here. And then we have downstairs, which is a fully finished area, more for media places, probably an office and things like that. There's another bedroom down here, probably more of an office space. Oh, that's the corner there. So garage, family room, bedroom, walk-in closet. Lounge area may be a great place to put an office if you work from home. Great pool, fenced in, great if you have animals. But again, this is going to be a very private place to live. 109 Buckboard was on for 1149, closed for 1255. So over asking, which is great. You're starting to see that there's a range here. There's some that are selling for under asking, right at about asking, and some that are selling over asking. And I'll briefly talk about the market here in Fairfield after. 4-bed, 3.5 bath, just over 2,800 square feet on 1 acre. We have oil, heat, septic, public water. Again, that's pretty standard. The taxes are $13,000. We are still in Greenfield Hill. Does not have a swimming pool. We will scroll up. We have 4 beds, 3.5 baths, and let's get into the pictures. This is that kind of farmhouse look that is still somewhat very popular here. The white paint with the black windows, black doors. It is starting to go away here. We're kind of getting away from that. You enter on the main level here. Beautifully antique style kitchen. A lot of people still really love this look. This I would say is more modern antique with the in-light, with the in-cabinet lighting, the farmhouse sink, but everything looks like it's in great shape. Vaulted ceilings, lots of lighting, great artwork. This is probably somewhat staged, the home, with some things that they had in the home and some things that were brought in. Always like seeing golf on the TV there. That's cool. This is a beautiful house, open concept, great back deck here. You can see your expansive backyard and how private it is. A couple of the bedrooms here, bathrooms, somewhat updated. I believe this is likely tile. I can't really tell, even though it looks like wood, it's probably tile. You can see the vanity's a bit dated here, but overall the bathroom is relatively updated. Bathroom's updated here too. A mudroom. Fireplace. It's a well done home. It's a well designed home. It definitely has some more personal aesthetic choices. Here is a patio below the deck outside and the expansive backyard. That's a great shot of what it looks like. That's an awesome shot. This picture actually really kind of encapsulates what Greenfield Hill is like. More wooded, more suburban, more private. 90 White Oak Road in Fairfield, 5-bed, 4.5 bath, 3,100 square feet. This is in the Brooklawn area as well. I did tour this house. The story behind this house is there's a little enclave that this house is in that was built by GE executives when GE was headquartered in Fairfield. So they built all individual but very character-filled homes. So we will go through this. It was on for $119. It sold for just over $1.2. Let's scroll down here, give you some taxes are almost $17,000. We are public water, public sewer, gas in the street, but the house is on oil, so you could convert over time. There is no pool, 2-car garage. And let's dive in. This is this little kind of enclave here. I'll kind of show you. You have Melville Avenue here, White Oak Road. This is the little enclave here with Brooklawn Country Club. It's a very cool street. My wife and I love driving down it because every home is unique and filled with a lot of character. This house was dated for sure, but the character is what really made it stand out. And as we'll go through, you can see it likely needed some paint upgrades to become a bit more modern. This side sunroom was one of my favorite parts of the house. Honestly, I would love to have a cup of coffee out here every day. But you're going to see this was not an open concept house. Again, an older built home. Each room is individual. The kitchen was likely the best it could be in terms of how it was laid out. You could open walls at some point if you wanted to. The cabinet's a little bit dated. The countertop style is a little bit dated, although it was a granite countertop. See the size of the stove here with a pot filler, which is, everybody loves that. Little wet bar. There's a breakfast nook in the back of the kitchen. It is a very tight spot there. Now, again, you're starting to see an older carpet, older cabinets. You can kind of see some wear down here on the baseboard. A very cool house. Again, filled with a lot of character. You need to like this style of home, I would say, to purchase this because you're going to be fixing things over time, but the character adds a lot of warmth. All right, we'll go to the next one. 112 Eastwood Road in Fairfield, 5-bed, 3.5 bath, just under 3,000 square feet on 0.3 acres. Now we're back to a smaller lot. This was on for $125. It sold for $123. This is in the neighborhood of Stratfield, a great neighborhood. Used to be more of an entry-level neighborhood. It somewhat is, but it's also becoming a forever neighborhood too, as the prices continue to go up in town. Public water, public sewer, oil heat, window unit for cooling. So no central air, taxes just under $12,000. And let's get into what this house looks like. There's a lot of very unique style homes like this in Stratfield. A lot of great architecture here that adds a lot of interest and curb appeal, as you can see here. A nice backyard with a patio back there. I did not get to tour this home. I have toured other homes on this street, and they're all unique. Again, a lot of character, which is really cool. Fireplace here in the living room. Nice sitting area, dining room. Black is definitely in terms of a living room. Cozy kitchen. Could likely use some updates. The cabinets look a little dated, but overall, certainly livable. Big, a lot of counter space here, which is great. Updated bedroom, those closets, those built-in closets are very nice, very useful. Updated bathroom, again, another bedroom. Bedrooms will keep scrolling through. I mean, this house is in great shape. It's move-in ready, 3rd floor, finished attic. There is a bathroom through there, which is great. And an office space, it's probably smaller than it looks. And as we continue through, the bathroom downstairs and some outside shots. You can see plenty of room for a dog to run around. There is no fence though. So this is another great option. 3 more here. 101 Brandley Hedge Circle in Fairfield, 5-bed, 5-bath, over 5,000 square feet, over 2 acres, almost 2.5 acres. Built in 1990. There is a HOA fee here. Let's see what that's going to cover. Clubhouse, tennis, security service, ground maintenance, snow removal, property management, and pool service. It's $534 per month. This is in Greenfield Hill. This is a little single-family condo complex in Greenfield Hill. Property taxes, $21,240. Septic, public water, natural gas, central air. So very typical for Greenfield Hill. Let's get into some of the pictures. Now, this is a funky looking house. I don't think there's anybody that could deny that, but there is a ton of space and privacy too. So you're seeing like you're not sitting on top of each other, even though this is in an association. This has got to be a home that I think it fits a particular buyer. It's not open concept. It's a little disjointed. It almost looks like the house was added on to over time, although I don't believe that it was. Funky kind of kitchen counter here, funky kitchen layout. You need to like unique homes if you're going to be buying this home, and be okay with not knowing potentially where other people are in your house, because you can't just yell downstairs to find anybody, as this is a very disjointed home. But it works for a lot of people. This may be great for multi-generational living, so people feel like they have their own space within the home. But you can see it's well maintained. It's in great shape. Paint looks great. Floors look great. Bathrooms, catch this, doesn't have a knob here. You can see it's beat up a little bit. Could probably use some upgrades. Again, sometimes it's hard to tell from the pictures, and sometimes we can pick up on things. Finished basement is always a huge help. Big backyard that's private. You know, if you need space, this is an insane option for under $1.5 million. Let's go to 478 Crestwood Road, 5-bed, 2.5 baths, almost 3,500 square feet. Was on for just under 1.5 million, sold for 1.45, $417 a square foot, built in 1937. Let's scroll down. Taxes are $14,500. We have public sewer, public water, gas in the street, which again normally means that it's on oil. This might be pulling it wrong. It might be gas heat, central air. Let's scroll up. There is no pool, 2-car garage. It's in the university neighborhood. We kind of get back there. Again, a great neighborhood in town. You see you're close to 95. Let's get into the pictures. This is a typical colonial here. It's a beautiful house. Shows great. I think anybody would say this is a good looking house. Huge backyard, which is fenced in. And it's your typical colonial where you walk in and your living room is on the side, stairs directly up, family room to the right, and kitchen in the back. No recessed lighting, so you would need a bunch of lamps or to put in recessed lighting. Carpet, the floors, you can tell there's some wear here. They're not as polished as you would like, so the floors probably need to be redone. There's some upgrades to be done in this house. We'll get back into the kitchen. Paneled fridge is coming back into style. So this kitchen, depending on what your favorite style is, can be seen as a dated kitchen. May need an upgrade. This is a big kitchen, so that would certainly be a big expense. Cheetah carpet, pretty sweet. Small bedroom, you can tell by how the bed fits. Pretty updated bathroom. Looks like a 3rd floor bedroom upstairs with its own bathroom, a little office nook, and a finished basement, which is a great add, especially when you have kids. It's just such a nice bonus to have. Again, beautiful bluestone patio. Wow, and a great big backyard. Finally, last but not least, back in Greenfield Hill, I did tour this house. This is a great one to end on. I can't believe this is what it sold for. 3853 Congress Street, 4-bed, 5.5 bath, just under 5,000 square feet on 3 acres. This house was a disaster. This is potentially being torn down. I don't even know if you could renovate it. If you did, it's significant renovations. We will go through it. It did have a pool inside. It was a mess. There was holes in the roof. This place was a disaster. There's no other way to say it. Septic, public water, natural gas, which is great. $23,000 for taxes. And let's get right into it. I'm curious to see what the pictures show. The lawn was overgrown when I went in the fall. Let's give it a look. So far, you can kind of see that it's not well kept. You can see the grass by the driveway there, the overgrown trees. This is actually where the pool is, inside there. Yeah, these pictures, this was actually the best part of the house. This was the most well kept, the dining room. You could see rock here, down here. His office was all cleaned up. The kitchen, look at all the wear and grime and dirt. It was extremely old. There was a pantry through here. The lights, some of the lights weren't even, you see all the water damage here. Here's the pool. Look at this cabinet that has had so much water damage below it. This was his kind of bedroom and living area. Again, look at the water that's come in here. That's it for photos. Interesting one to end on. I hope that you see here that there's a lot of variety in Fairfield for purchasing under $1.5 million to still get you a good sized home. Now, right now in the market, there just isn't much on. Right now, the market is tight here. The inventory is low. There are a lot of people looking as we get towards the spring. Hopefully in the spring, more comes on to the market. But I hope you enjoyed as we went through these homes here.
Each home we dissected today fell under the same general budget, but the experience of living in each one can feel very different. Some prioritize location, some prioritize interior updates, others prioritize land and privacy. And that's really what buyers are navigating when they search for homes here in Fairfield. At the end of the day, the biggest takeaway is this. It is still possible to buy a great family home in Fairfield for under $1.5 million, but the key is understanding what trade-offs you're comfortable making and knowing which opportunities actually represent strong value when they appear. Because in a town like Fairfield, the best homes in this price range tend to move quickly. So if you're thinking about buying in Fairfield or anywhere in Fairfield County and want help understanding the market or finding the right property, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help. And when you're ready, feel free to make an appointment via the first link in the description below. And if you found this video helpful and want to see more breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos about living in Fairfield County.